Okay, dear students, today's class we will discuss what is Ohm's law and what is electric resistance, how the electric resistance is varies and how the electric resistance is depends on and what is 1 ohm. After that we will discuss what are the drawbacks of Ohm's law. Okay, let's go. What is Ohm's law first? Ohm's law. So Ohm's law, directly we can write that statement I is directly proportional to V, where I is called your electric current, V is called potential difference. Okay, na? V is called potential difference. So how to state this? Ohm's law is states that the electric current passing through the conductor is directly proportional to potential difference is given to the conductor. Okay na? See here, if it is your conductor, okay na? So there is electric current is passes through this when potential difference is applied to this conductor. Okay na? So Ohm's law, I is directly proportional to V means here I am writing I is directly proportional to V, where I is called electric current. Okay, where I is called electric current, then V is called potential difference. Okay, na? Shall I write V is directly proportional to I, both are same. Okay, then this V is equal to, just remove this proportionality constant. I am introducing one more factor, that is R into I, where R is called electric resistance. Okay na? This R is called electric resistance. Okay na? So then what is R is equal to, we can write here, this R is equal to V by I and I is equal to V by R. So these are the important formulas. V is equal to IR or else RI. So R is equal to V by I and I is equal to V by R. So where R is called your electric resistance. Okay. So R is equal to what I had told. This R is equal to V by I is your electric resistance. So what is the definition of this electric resistance? So electric resistance, it is the ratio of potential difference across the end of conductor. See here, it is your conductor. Okay, always the potential difference is given at the end of the conductor. It is the ratio of potential difference at the end of conductor to the current flowing in the conductor is called your electric resistance. Okay. So what is the electric resistance of SI unit? What is the SI unit of electric resistance? See here, this SI unit of electric resistance is your ohm. Okay na? It is your ohm. So when we are calling, resistance must be 1 ohm. Is or not? When resistance must be 1 ohm. See here. So this R is equal to V by I is our formula. Okay. When V is equal to 1 volt, then I is equal to 1 ampere, then R is equal to what we can say here? R is equal to 1 divided by 1 ohm. Okay. Then what is 1 ohm? What is 1 ohm? When we are saying 1 ohm, so 1 ohm means the electric resistance is said to be 1 ohm. 1 ampere of current is flowing through the conductor when 1 volt of potential difference is given to the conductor is called your 1 ohm. So see here, how the resistance is depends upon, is or not? So how the resistance is depends upon? So electrical resistance is depends on in the factor how. Okay na? See here. So resistance is depends on okay. How the resistance is depends? First of all, the resistance is depends upon nature of the material. Okay, na? Nature of the material. So which kind of material we are using? So it must depends upon nature of the material. Then second one, length of the conductor. Okay, na? Length of the conductor means as the length of the conductor is increases, resistance is also increases. Okay, na? So from this what we can conclude? Resistance is directly proportional to length of the conductor. Okay, na? See here. This resistance is directly proportional to length of conductor. As the length is increases, resistance is also increases. Then third one is temperature. It depends upon the temperature. Okay, na? So resistance is depends upon the temperature. Then fourth one will be area of the material. Next will be area of the material. Okay. So as the area of the material is increases, resistance must be decreases. Okay. See here. So this resistance is inversely proportional to area. As the area of the conductor is decreases, then what happens? Compression of the charges or else electron is takes place. As the compression of the electron is takes place, then what happens? Current is increases. Okay. As the current is increases, then what happens? Resistance is also increases. Okay. So R is inversely proportional to area of the conductor. Okay, na? These are the materials on which resistance must be depends upon. One more factor. See here, by using these two equations, shall I write one more equation? Okay, see. So resistance is directly proportional to length and inversely proportional to what? Inversely proportional to area of the conductor. Okay. One more factor we are adding that this proportionality constant can be removed by using rho L times of A, where rho is called resistivity of the material. Okay. Where rho is called resistivity. Where rho is called your resistivity of the material. Okay. Next, what are the drawbacks of Ohm's law or else limitations of Ohm's law? Okay, na? Next will be limitations of Ohm's law. Next will be limitations of Ohm's law. Limitations of Ohm's law. Okay. So Ohm's law is failed in which aspects? First one will be the Ohm's law is not at all applicable to semiconductors. Okay. First one, Ohm's law does not applicable to semiconductors. Okay. Then second one will be Ohm's law may not applicable to a superconductors. Superconductors. Okay. Then third one will be the Ohm's law may not applicable to vacuum tubes. Okay. May not applicable to the vacuum tubes. Then next will be the Ohm's law will not applicable. Ohm's law will not applicable to a metallic conductor. Metallic conductor of very high temperature and very low temperature. Okay, na? very high temperature and very low temperature. In this case, the Ohm's law may not applicable, or else by changing this, the Ohm's law is applicable to ohmic devices. Okay, what is ohmic device? See here, fifth one I am writing here. Ohm's law is applicable to ohmic devices. Okay, what is ohmic device? These are the devices in which Ohm's law is applicable. Ohm's law is applicable. For example, metallic conductor. Okay, na? For best example is metallic conductor. So metallic conductor may not applicable only when it maintains a constant temperature. Okay, na? As the temperature is increases, means as the temperature becomes high, it may not applicable. As the temperature is very low, in this case also Ohm's law may not applicable to the metallic conductor. Okay, na? So it is applicable to only ohmic devices, and Ohm's law may not applicable to the non-ohmic devices. Okay, na? So may not applicable to the non-ohmic device. Okay, na? What are non-ohmic device? These are the devices in which Ohm's law doesn't applicable. Ohm's law doesn't applicable. For example, semiconductor. Okay, na? Semiconductor, triode and diode. Triode and diode. In this cases, the Ohm's law does not applicable. First one, what I had told, it doesn't applicable to the semiconductor, it doesn't applicable to the superconductor, it doesn't applicable to the vacuum tubes, and it doesn't applicable to the metallic conductor having a very high temperature as well as very low temperature, and it may not applicable to the non-ohmic devices. Non-ohmic devices means these are the devices in which Ohm's law is applicable. For example, semiconductor and triode and diode. Next, the Ohm's law is applicable to the what? Metallic conductor only. That too how? It maintains a constant temperature. As the temperature is very low, as the temperature is very high, then it may not applicable. Okay, na? So these are the limitations of Ohm's law. In the next video, we will discuss the relationship between current density and current. Next video, we will discuss somewhat whatever the topic is there as per. Okay, na? Thank you.